Good morning, everybody. Saturday. You know what that means. It's football time. All right, let's do that. We go here, here, schedule for the games. Okay. Wow, there was a big upset in the Thursday games. The Bengals whooped the Ravens. That doesn't make any sense to me. And the Bears beat the Eagles, which I predicted that game. That was the Friday game. Now the game's coming up. Dolphins Saints gonna go with the Saints. Jets, Falcons, going with the Falcons, folks. Jets are horrible. Rams, Panthers, well, the Rams are supposed to win, but we'll see what happens. We'll take the Rams. The Bucks, Cardinals, Tampa's got to win out, or they're done. They're probably done anyhow. Baker's, I don't know. But we'll see what happens there. Steelers, Bills, could be a good game. I go with the Steelers in that one. Broncos over the Commanders. Colts over the Texans. 49ers dismantle the Browns. Jags take apart the Titans. Seahawks, Vikings, close, but we'll go with the Seahawks. Chargers, Raiders, Chargers. Sorry, Raiders. Just not good enough this year. And the Monday night game we'll discuss on Monday. You know, it's the Patriots and the Giants. I'll wait till Monday to see who to do that one. All right. So that was my football predictions for the weekend. Hopefully everything turns out the way I said it would. But you never know, you know. You never know. And if you look at this guy scratching herself over there, that's Lucy. She's got some sort of allergy that drives me crazy. I keep trying to do something for her and I can't. So we'll just have to wait and see. Let's see what's going on now. For those, I forgot to mention this, but you know, Thursday tradition that I had, and I don't know whether I mentioned this or not. I really don't, because my mind is a blank right now. Because I'm getting ready to cook for my Thanksgiving, which is going to be Sunday. Got turkey, and every time I turn around, my wife invites somebody else, and I don't know whether I have enough food now, and I really don't give a shit so long as I get turkey. I've run out of patience where that's concerned. It happens every year to me. I'm told, you bought too much, you didn't cook, you cooked too much, and then we don't have any leftovers left, you know, so I don't know what you want to say. Anyhow, my tradition is Alice's Restaurant, an Arlo Guthrie song that started in 1967, I believe, on WNEW-FM in New York City. They started playing that. I'm not sure if it was... I forgot who started the song, the DJ, and he did it for I don't know how many years. I believe it came on at around 10 o'clock or 12 o'clock. I'm not sure. We'll go... But anyhow. So now I've played it, heard it, or... you know, listened to it on the radio or played it and posted it on the internet, and I've gotten hundreds of replies to the YouTube picked it up, and I've got a few hundred. I got about 100 and some odd replies to this. It is a tradition for mine, which is now 58 years old. It's pretty spectacular, I think. You know. I think I went 50 years for Old Lang Syne at New Year's, and then I just decided I don't care anymore. I worked instead, you know. It's nothing special. New Year's Eve is an amateur day. It's just like St. Patrick's Day. They're amateur hours for serious cocktailers. and they're dangerous nights at times, you know. And right now, New Year's Eve is no fun, even if you go to New York, because you're surrounded by cops. And this year is going to be you're going to be surrounded by ICE, not just cops. So cops have a sense of humor. ICE apparently doesn't, you know. So we'll have to wait and see what goes on. But Alice's Restaurant was at the time, I think it was either that or Ingata Vida, something like that. That was the longest song ever played on radio. And it's like 23 minutes long, or longer than that, I think. And it's really, really good. And it's just a folk song. It's just a story. Made Arlo Guthrie's career. His father was really big during the Depression as a folk singer and protest singer, Woody Guthrie, and a very famous man. And Arlo came along and took this song, and it was an anti-war song. But you can apply it to anything you want to. But it became a Thanksgiving tradition on WNEW-FM in New York City. I don't know whether the other stations affiliated with it did it across the country. But you could expect, you got up, you waited by the radio to hear it, then you knew it was really Thanksgiving, folks. It was just one of those songs that came along, you know. But now that we're in the holiday season, let's list the problems we have, shall we? Airbus doesn't know whether their planes are going to be able to fly or not because they have an issue with some sort of radiation affecting the planes and their ability to, pilots' ability to navigate properly. Then you have UPS fleet is grounded, and they don't expect to have it back for the peak delivery season in December, which is coming up right around the corner. And I don't know how that's going to affect me. It's already gone from like 5 days to 8 days for me to get a package from America, and I'm going to have to really work on it this weekend with my wife, but you know, she doesn't want to work on anything. It's just got to deal with that. But those are some of the issues facing Americans now, you know. Getting back to the two officers that were shot, I didn't even know there was a female officer involved in that shooting, but she died, and Trump is blaming Biden for it. And I got to tell you that, yeah, Biden brought them over here. They were vetted by Biden's people, and then they were vetted at least 2 or 3 times by Trump's people, and Trump's people actually went a step further and gave the guy asylum. So, you know, both the assholes fucked up. You know, Trump hates Biden because Biden won. You know, that's why Trump seriously hates Biden because of that. And he never gives up, you know, he just hates forever, and that's just a really sad commentary on his life, which is a waste, you know. Here is a man who was fairly popular at one point in time, who could have done so much good for this country had he wanted to. But instead, he got involved with these Nazis who produced Project 2025 and who don't like black people, colored people, brown people, purple people, or whatever. They just hate everybody, unless you're pure white, you know, and that's was Hitler's philosophy, you know, a purebred Aryan nation. Well, America's never been purebred anything except American Indians, okay? The American Indian are the Native Americans and who've been here the longest and know more about this country and the inside and outs of it, and have watched white people, black people, everything and every other nationality and color come together and try to ruin this country. The American Indian is I don't know how you explain it, but they believe in nature and they follow nature. And if you don't consider nature, I mean, you know, Trump's philosophy about nature is that it's in the way of progress. Well, depends what you call progress, you know. On an emotional level, I think we've become nastier over the years than we were when we were first. Maybe when we first appeared on the planet, human beings, we were that kind of violent individual, but that was survival. Now we're just nasty because we can be nasty, you know. People that have money don't care anymore. You know, there's no empathy out there. Trump thinks the biggest thing wrong with the American dream is empathy. Well, because he doesn't have any. I don't think he can spell it. I don't think he could define it. You know, if you asked him what it means. But he's not, you know, if you ask him a question like that, he'll switch it around to something else because he never answers directly. Because he can't, because the direct answers to some of the questions he's given would either self-incriminate him or show that he has no fucking brains whatsoever. You know, I'm going with shows no brains whatsoever. Incrimination is he does that by getting out of bed in the morning. He's and I know I'm not supposed to be a depressing person around this time of year, but you know, he's taking the fun out of Christmas. They're saying now that DC's having a problem because of the shooting, and I'm telling you that's definitely a problem for the shoppers and whatnot. You know, you're the shopping season now, and it doesn't appear that people are going out and doing what they usually do, and deliveries are late or non-existent because of they won't go into certain areas, or they don't have enough people willing to drive into Washington, you know. I don't know. Rather than de-escalating the problem, he brings 500 more National Guardsmen in who really aren't doing anything except observers of some sort, you know. And that's a shame because, I mean, they could do some things. I mean, some of them do. Some of them clean streets and stuff like that. And that's not their assigned job, but they're helping keep the city clean. And they're doing what they can. But the mere presence of soldiers or police officers does nothing to discourage the professionals. And most of these criminals that are roaming the streets in D.C. that they're really afraid of, the cartels and whatnot, the gangs, they're professionals. They know where you're going to be, and when they study you, and then they can predict you. Because that's the thing about military and law enforcement. They can be extremely predictable in terms of daily operations. You know, the special operations, they could be informed about that. That's because the only way they get that information is from somebody ratting somebody out, you know, and that's part of the deal with gangs. You did me wrong, I'm going to rat you out, mother. You know what I'm saying? Oh, Lucy left, sorry. She gets upset with me. You know, you guys are not the only ones that think I'm boring, okay? She thinks I'm horribly boring. You know, even when I talk to her outside, she just kind of goes, you know, and then walks away from me, lays down. But anyhow, I got a lot of stuff to do today. I won't be here tomorrow, of course. Like I said, if you have something you want me to look into, I'll be happy to. But, boy, I tell you, this country's a mess right now. And I've never been in, when I say this country, I'm talking about the U.S., not where I am. This country's been a mess since I've been here. It's actually improved somewhat, and then it's taken a few steps back because the military takes over here she is again. I guess she just went for a drink of water. Military. Oh, I know what the problem is. I didn't feed her breakfast yet. Oh, no wonder she's pissed at me. All right, listen, I gotta go. All right, you guys. I gotta fix a printer. I gotta cook a meal. I gotta do a lot of things. So you guys take care. Have a great day. Hit that subscribe button for me, please. I would really appreciate it. It boosts the channel. In other words, it takes me up a few notches in the list of videos that are available on YouTube, and the more people I get watching it, the more they raise me up a little bit more, and I'd like that, you know. I don't yeah. I can't say the word, but I don't mess myself up as much, you know, just for kicks. I do it for you guys. So anyhow, take care. Have a great day. Good weekend. All right. Watch football tomorrow. Try to forget about what's going on in the world, which I know won't be easy. Hopefully we'll find out what the story is with this shooter in Washington, why he did what he did and everything. But not that I'm that interested in why he did it. You know, I just want the death penalty. Okay, so everybody have a good weekend, and we'll talk on Monday. But don't forget to before you leave, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Pretty, please.